I understand you were part of a classified briefing yesterday, and as much as I'd like you to tell me every last thing that was brought up in that meeting, I know your history as a CIA officer probably will limit that. So let me put it to you this way. Based on what you've heard in general and based on what you see, what do you think the current situation is in Ukraine on the battlefield?
Well, and I am a former CIA officer, and I am very pleased that we continue to have these Congress-wide briefings with members of the Biden administration. We also have separate briefings for those of us who serve on the Foreign Affairs Committee, the Intel Committee, or the Armed Services Committee. And I think what we continue to see is that the United States is not only doing extraordinary work in supporting our allies on the ground, the Ukrainians, but we are demonstrating the leadership that only the United States can in bringing together our partner nations to provide lethal aid, to provide humanitarian aid, to provide information and support to the Ukrainians who continue to fight for their democracy and their own freedom. And certainly we see that there is still a road ahead of the Ukrainians. They are fighting, they are standing strong, and we continue to provide more and more in terms of aid to support them in that process. But we see an extraordinary will to fight for freedom and an extraordinary will to fight for democracy present on the ground in Ukraine. And so as long as they're fighting, my expectation and certainly my commitment is that the United States will support them in that endeavor.
Are they getting that lethal aid quickly enough, and are they getting it in the ways that they want? What's the equipment that they want most now?
Well, they need to be able to fight back. And so we continue to provide them with Stingers and Javelins and now Switchblades. We've seen the Ukrainians have been utilizing Turkish-made drones with great impact at attacking and immobilizing Russian vehicles and Russian units. So to be able to further arm them with additional tactical drones that can be used, the Switchblades, also considered like kamikaze drones, is important. They need surface-to-air missiles. They need the ability to continue to fight back. And that's what the United States has been providing. You asked about how fast. I mean, I think just about anyone would say we want them to have everything and we want them to have it yesterday. And if we had been having this question yesterday, I would have said I want them to have everything and I want them to have it yesterday. But we are moving quickly and effectively to move massive amounts of equipment to the Ukrainian partners and to work with our partners throughout the world to make sure that we are, scouting out for the material that might and the support items that might be available within other countries and facilitate that movement as well.
Right. Quickly, because I have to let you go. I know in the United States, you are putting forth some new legislation today, the Better Cybercrimes Metrics Act. What are you looking for here?
Yes. So this bill just passed the House. It's a significant success. I'm excited that it's going to be headed to the president's desk. And basically, as we see cybercrime increasingly permeating all aspects of our communities, attacks on the Colonial Pipeline in my district, attacks on doctors' offices and personal information, attacks directed at individuals, law enforcement does not have what they need to be able to not only investigate, but to track, to understand the scope, the breadth, and the interrelated nature of different attacks that may be occurring. So this bill gets at the heart of that. This bill is endeavoring to ensure that law enforcement has what they need, that there's information sharing, tracking metrics, and the ability to investigate these crimes that certainly are not victimless, continue to rise and impact our communities. It has the support of organizations, law enforcement organizations across the country, because it will provide a vital tool in stopping these criminals so frequently, frankly, coming from elsewhere in the world and oftentimes Russia.
Congresswoman Abigail Spanberger, thank you for being with us. I do appreciate it.